Vinfast has been busy at the New York International Auto Show, and the trim levels and pricing have finally crystallized for us, and we can talk about it. I've been waiting for this moment. I've been waiting to do this video. So today I'm going to introduce you to the VF8, the VF9, and what those prices are going to look like. But first I got to say, welcome back to All Cars. I'm John. If you haven't been here before, please hit that like button for me. Check out what we do here. But I've been very bullish on this company, and I have been for a while. And honestly, now that the prices are starting to crystallize, the luster might be coming off for me a little bit. Now they're going to have two models. The VF9 is the big Mac Daddy one, and the VF8 is more mid-size. I'm going to talk about the VF8 second because I've got more to say about it and where it actually sits in the marketplace. But for both of these models, VinFast is going to have two trim lines, Eco and Plus, and two battery options in each one. So let's start with the VF9, their big hulking one. This thing's bigger than a Ford Explorer, for example. The Eco, let me check my notes here. The Eco one will have 272 range on the basic battery, 369 range on the upgraded battery. The Plus is going to have 262 and 360. All right. Now, all of these are the WLTP, I think it is, not the US standard. So you can expect all of these ranges to drop a little bit once they're tested to our standards. Now, what that means is that the VF9 Eco, the base level trim, is going to start at $55,500, and with the bigger battery, it's going to be $56,000. The Plus upgraded model, basic battery is going to be $60,500. The upgraded battery is going to be $61,000. Keep in mind, none of these prices include the battery. I'm going to do a whole video next on the actual leasing program. They've come out with their official numbers on it, and I'm going to do a video about that separate from this. But let's jump into the VF8. So Eco and Plus, the range on the Eco with the basic battery is 260 miles, with the upgraded battery 292. On the Plus, it's 248 miles, and with the upgraded battery, 270. Pricing with the base battery for the Eco is $40,700. Upgraded battery is $41,000. The Plus is $47,700. Upgraded battery, $48,000. So, again, VinFast is doing a lot of different things. They want to take a premium level car, affordable for everybody. I like what they're doing. The pricing is a little bit of a turnoff because it doesn't include the battery. Now, one of the things I read was a quote from them. They said that typically a battery, an 80 kilowatt hour battery, is going to add about $10,000 to the price of the car. So they take the battery out, turn it into a lease, and then they keep responsibility and ownership of that battery. There's some benefits to that, but partially I think that is an environmental concern where they can take the battery when they replace it and recycle it. It's not up to you, the consumer, to do it. That's a video for another day. My concern is these prices don't look $10,000 cheaper to me. And let me dig in. Number one is that in both of these, in the VF9, you're only paying $500 more for the bigger battery and getting 90 more miles out of it in one case, almost 100 miles in the upgraded car. And then for the VF8, the mid-size, you're paying $300 more for 30 more miles range, thereabouts. Why would they even go to the trouble of offering the base battery for a more complicated lineup that's only $300 more? Doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense to me at all. And if the battery isn't part of it and you're leasing it, why is it more to begin with? But let's dig in a little bit closer into the VF8. Now, I am not at the auto show. I almost went, but I ended up not going. And there's been a number of videos about it. And I think these are good looking cars. I really, really do. But when I started to see this pricing, and I'm going to use the base VF8 as my basis here, don't really know that I love it. I don't know that there's a competitor for the VF9. It's really big. I don't think it really lines up with anything else in the market. But the VF8 certainly does. Now, it's about the same size as a Tesla Model Y. But the Tesla Model Y has more range and starts at $63,000 for the long-range version. So $20,000 difference, suddenly that makes some sense. But the Tesla's not the only one in the market that VinFast is going to be competing with. There's more mainstream models they're going to be going up against. Now let's look at the ID.4, for example, from Volkswagen. It's a little bit smaller, all right? But it's almost exactly the same price. Checking their website here, it's $41,230 with, it quotes slightly less range than you would get with the VF8 with the bigger battery, but that's an actual EPA estimated range, not the other cycle that VF8 is going with right now. So for roughly the same price, you get the Volkswagen with a battery. Where's the savings? An even more damning one to me is the Ford Mach-E. This lines up very, very closely in terms of the size of the car, that mid-size 2-row 5-seating car. The VinFast actually has more horsepower, less torque, about the same range, might end up being slightly more. The Mustang Mach-E Select, which I believe is the base level one, is $45,590. So yes, the VinFast with the base trim and the upgraded battery is $41,000. That's $4,000. I don't know. Do you jump into a brand and then pay $110 is what it boils down to for the battery to save $4,000 off of the Ford? I don't know. I think this is kind of a tough sale. I don't see the savings for them to go with this battery lease option. Now, we'll talk more again about the battery lease in a little bit, but it's going to be for the first through 2023, I think is what they said, and then 2024, they're probably going to go to an option where you can either lease it or buy the battery at the same time. I think that's really probably where they're going to have several, maybe two more models, one or two more models on the market, and really where they might start accelerating as they expand around the country. But right now, $41,000 for a VinFast, $41,000 for a Volkswagen. I'm not seeing a lot of the savings here. Now, let's also say this would also compete with, say, the Ioniq 5. Well, then the pricing suddenly makes a lot more sense for a more traditional looking SUV, because that Hyundai is in the $50-some-odd thousand range. I don't know the number off the top of my head. I don't know. I'm a little torn on this pricing right now, and the Mach-E jumps out at me as being a slam dunk competitor. And I'm not seeing a massive savings for having to rent for leasing the battery. But that's the pricing we know right now. Let me know your thoughts below, guys. And when I have it up, I'll put a link to the battery leasing program right there.